name is Lukaza Branfman-Verissimo, and today we're going to be making envelopes for mail art, for mail that we'll be sending out to loved ones, folks far away, folks close. I think a lot about, especially in a time like this when we're kind of isolated from our loved ones, our family, about how we keep in touch and different ways of staying in touch. And I'm a big fan of supporting the United States Postal Service and mailing loved ones and friends both far away across the country and in our own neighborhood kind of little moments of love or moments of appreciation over the form of mail. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a super simple envelope out of scrap paper, any kind of paper that we have laying around at home. And yeah, I'm going to walk you through each step. So things that we'll need for making this envelope are a piece of kind of thicker paper or cardstock. So in this case I have this light purple cardstock that was just laying around. Scissors, a Sharpie or pen or pencil, glue stick, any kind of glue will do. You could also use tape if you don't have glue at home. A stamp, or one forever stamp should be fine for a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. If you're working with something larger, just go with your gut in terms of how many stamps you need, or if you need to go to the post office to get the correct mailing amount. And then whatever you're going to put inside this envelope. So in this case I just have a piece of recycled lined paper, and I'll write a letter and put it in the envelope. I also like to be creative about what goes into the envelope. You can fit lots of good small scale care packages in there. So the first step, and I just kind of drew out this cheat sheet for how to make the envelope. It's also included in the PDF kind of takeaway form that goes with this video, so feel free to check that out to get this grid, or get this template. Super simple template that I just created with 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. The dotted lines on this template are fold lines, and then the solid lines are cut lines. So the first step will be just to cut the cut lines. So I started by cutting these two cut lines, and I'll do the same on the other side. Next, I'm just going to cut these two cut lines, which make the kind of top of the fold of the envelope, and these two as well. There we go. You can see from my template that I've chosen to make it a little bit more like hand-drawn and freeform and less measured, but if you're more of a measurer, then feel free to use a ruler or the straight edge of another piece of paper or a book to measure if you want the lines to be more exact. Next, I'm going to fold the dotted lines. Crease, crease, crease. Okay, so all of my dotted lines are now folded. And the next step is making the pocket of the envelope, and that requires your glue stick. So I made a little kind of cheat sheet of where the glue goes on the tabs. So just cover those tabs with glue, if you can get your glue stick open. I'd say you can be pretty generous with your glue amount just for safety. Glue down. And now I just fold my glue tabs over to create this pocket on both sides. Ta-da! Okay, cool. So, while I let these glue tabs consolidate together, I can work on the front side of the envelope, which requires a few important things if you're going to send it through the mail. Make sure you put your address, so the return address, in the corner. So that's who it's from, that's my address up here. Who it's going to. In the center. And then a stamp. In the corner. And of course you would put the person's name, last name, address, and all of those kind of details too. So then would be a matter of what's going inside the envelope. And like I said, I always like to put like special unique treats for people inside. But it can also just be a simple kind of letter or check-in on a piece of paper. It can also be like a newspaper clipping that you found interesting, or a newspaper clipping that you drew over that you want to send to somebody, a piece of your art. I always love giving pieces of my art to folks, especially at this time, who might need a little bit of like extra love and support. So yeah, it's up to you about what you want to put inside. So allowing your envelope to dry a little bit, you can spend some time working on what goes inside. I'm just gonna speed that process up a little bit. Put it inside, and then when I'm ready to seal up my envelope, I'm done. You can either fold your tab and tape it, or glue down your tab. Just for like a little bit of a easier approach, I'm going to choose to glue it down. But tape does the same job. All done. So easy. So I would also encourage you to have fun with the envelope itself. I always think of the envelope as this extension of the gift that you're sending someone. So just to practice together, I found a variety of scrap materials, paper, some recycled art that I'm not interested in keeping anymore. And playing also around with different sizes. So yeah, let's make some envelopes together. This is a piece of art that was like a misprint. So I did the same thing. It was an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I drew out my template, cut all of the cut lines, folded the dotted lines. And I'm ready to glue. Ta-da! So simple. You can also play around with the size. I took another misprint of a larger print and made a tiny baby envelope, kind of like a cute size. And then also thinking about like these are gifts, and these are now creating like vessels for more gifts that you're sending out to people. So really putting care and thought into what the envelope holds. And it's okay if it's just a blank piece of paper. That gives you more space to decorate it and think about the surface. But you can also pick some paper that has meaning to it and use that as your vessel. So this is some art by a friend who I really love, and I felt I was done with this piece and ready to recycle it into an envelope and hope that the person I send it off to will be able to enjoy it maybe in a new way. So this is also an envelope. In terms of decorating the surface, if you have like a more blank piece of paper, so many different ways that can be done. You can draw directly onto it with big shapes or patterns. You could also continue the writing or the work that might be inside and write right on the envelope. Like this. It's up to you. And even though this is a demo that uses 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, feel free to go larger if you feel like you are ready to go there. So this piece of paper was originally 11 by 17, and so I again made the kind of loose template in pencil and then went from there. So I cut out all of the solid lines and then folded the dotted lines. So that's the glue tabs, the top envelope, and then the bottom edge. So yeah, I'm ready to glue the sides. And then it's ready to go. Just a slightly bigger envelope. If you are using the 11 by 17 piece of paper, I might suggest putting 2 forever stamps instead of 1, just because the size is a little bit bigger. And again, if you are filling it with something that has a bit of a weight to it, think about the stamp amount and if you might need to go to the post office to get more money put on it. So yeah, that's a little bit about making envelopes. I hope that you have fun with sending out packages to your community and to loved ones. And yeah, I also feel like making these envelopes is a really big way of centering myself and keeping myself calm during this time. It's kind of a productive and also fun and low stakes activity to do at stressful moments. So again, you only need an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cardstock or a little bit thicker, marker or pen, scissors, glue, and some stamps. Cool, thank you.